Hello and welcome everyone to the Gold and Silver Club weekly commodities review for the 22nd of May 2015, presented by myself, Phil Carr at the Gold and Silver Club. Today we will be reviewing the latest developments in the commodities markets. We'll be analysing the week's performance. The live session will be covering an overview of the commodities markets. We'll look at the top trades of the week. We'll cover live market commentary and technical analysis. And of course, we'll be answering any questions you may have as well. So first of all, before we get started, let me introduce you to the Gold and Silver Club. The Gold and Silver Club is an international commodities trading, research and advisory group specializing in the precious metals, energies and agricultural markets. We are recognized as a leading go-to authority on commodities, and as internationally respected experts, our analysis and opinions on the markets, metals, energies, agriculture are routinely sought by major financial television channels and publications including Bloomberg, Reuters, CNN, Global Banking and Finance Review, and the Wall Street Journal, to name a few. Our team of experts has advised and taught technical analysis, fundamental research and portfolio management to more than 50,000 private and institutional clients worldwide. For further information on the Gold and Silver Club and our expertise, please do visit us at www.thegoldandsilverclub.com. Okay, so we'll get started and we'll take a look at the gold price at the moment. Currently, gold is trading at 1,212 US dollars per ounce. So we'll take a look at that very shortly on the charts. We'll go through some technical analysis. Just before we do so, the top trades of the week this week using the Gold and Silver Club signature trading strategies are as follows. So first of all, we've had lovely follow through from our soybean sell short, which we entered about 10 days ago now. We continue to be in this at the moment, over 340 points returned so far as we've caught a lovely breakdown in price here. Soybeans actually breaking down to 8-month lows. So we continue to be in this trade up over 340 points at the moment. We've also caught a lovely day trade opportunity this week where we broke down on gold after we spiked on Monday. We then had a great rejection candle and an opportunity to sell short. So over 180 points return from a sell short on gold this week. And finally, also a quick day trade opportunity yesterday after we saw oil break down and then a quick retracement for 170 points return. So those are some of the top trades that we've had so far this week. And what we'll do now, we'll just have a look at the charts and see what's lining up as we go into the US session this afternoon. So first of all, I'll actually start off with the grains, then we'll move over to the metals and the energy. So I'd like to have a look. We'll have a look at soybeans first here. You can see soybeans, the overall breakdown in price that we've had here. We're coming towards the lower end of a major trend channel here. We've actually broken below 8-month lows here on soybeans as we continue to rotate lower and we continue to just consolidate and break down within this overall larger downward trending channel. You can see the overall primary trend here is very bearish. Soybeans continuing to break down. We've taken out some major swing lows recently on the chart, taking out the mid-April lows here, continuing to break down, and we could come into a support zone just towards the lower end of the trend line here, but it has been a very nice sell short opportunity here on soybeans. So we continue to monitor this trade and stay in for a sell short for the time being. Corn has been quite interesting over the last couple of days. We have seen another retracement back up to this major resistance channel. So corn just tending to ricochet between support and resistance. What you'll notice on corn is we're starting to develop a pennant here. We've got a downward trending channel overhead where we're getting lower highs, but we've also got higher lows here on the chart as well. So we are expecting a resolution on corn soon. Typically this time of year, especially as we go into June, we would expect weakness in a lot of the softs here. So I'd like to see whether we do get rejection off this zone, which will give us a potential sell short opportunity. Also, as we get towards the apex here, so as we get right in tight at the apex of this pennant, I'd like to see whether we're going to force a breakout to the upside or whether we'll get a breakout to the downside, because either way, the more we consolidate here on corn, the bigger the eventual breakout. So we're definitely keeping an eye on corn here. There's a much larger consolidation which is forming here, but ultimately if we do break down, that will give us a nice sell short within the overall downward trend as well. So that's what we're looking at as the top setups for the time being on agriculture right now. We'll move over to oil. Oil's been quite interesting. You'll note that Brent crude oil in particular is really following its trend channels very well at the moment. So we've got supportive channels, resistance channels. We've actually got a pennant formation which is formed here overhead as well. So you'll see where we've had 3 spikes up to resistance level. We've also got a major support level here. So we are going to get a resolution. Now in the short term, it looks like we're just going to get, you can see where we've had a previous support trend channel on Brent, which has now become resistance. So it looks like we've almost come up to this level and given it a goodbye kiss here for oil just to sell off again. Now we do have a trend channel, supportive channel, and in the short term I would expect for today to see a retracement back down to the lower end of this channel again, which will be probably worth around 100 points or so. And then once we get to the lower end of the channel here, I'd like to see how oil is going to react at this level, whether we're going to get a full-on breakdown here and start to build up some momentum in the short term to the downside. We're starting to develop a new channel here, but it's not confirmed. So this pennant which has formed also on oil, we're waiting for a resolution. Oil's been incredible so far this year. In the first 5 months of 2015, oil is up 49% at its peak here at the beginning of May. So we've had some incredible gains. So it is overdue a sell-off, a pullback. It could pull back quite significantly and still overall this year have given a lot of gains, still be one of the best performing commodities of 2015. So we may well, in the first instance, if we do continue to break down, get a retest of this major support zone, which was previous resistance going back to February. So definitely I would keep an eye on Brent crude oil today. Very similar situation with WTI crude oil. We also seen a breakdown earlier on this week after we spiked and hit 2015 highs last week. We've seen a short-term breakdown in price. We did come up, we had a previous supportive channel, which is now providing resistance. So you can see here, we've had 1, 2, 3 bounces off this support line. We've then broken below the support. We've retraced, and it looks like, again, we're going to give a goodbye kiss here, where we come up, we retest previous support, it becomes resistance, and then we start to sell off. And we can see that at the moment. So definitely ones to watch. Now, if we move over to the metals, now copper, which does have correlation with oil, has certainly had a bit of a pullback. We've had a resolution of this consolidation. So if you remember last week, we're looking at copper. It was consolidated about 10 days here, just moving between support and resistance. Now, we had this back in November last year, very similar levels actually, 2.959 and 2.882 were just providing support and resistance. Now, we were looking for the potential of a breakout here if we saw the other metals continue to follow through, but we didn't. And what we saw here is with oil, copper has broken down this week. And what we are looking for here, we're now consolidating again. I'll be keeping an eye on whether we are going to just break down and come back down to the lower end of the channel here. This has provided strong support for copper over 2015, so we may just get a pop down lower here. You can see the weekly lows which we're looking potentially to break down from here, and there could be a quick day trade opportunity here just to take copper down towards the lower end of the channel, particularly if oil builds up momentum to the downside today. So copper as well, really closely following its channels here. You can see support, resistance, horizontal levels of support, and also trend channels. It's really moving nicely. So copper is also one you want to keep an eye on. Now, if we move over to the precious metals, let's have a look at gold and move over to silver. So gold did spike on the open on Sunday, and through to Monday we came up to a weekly high here of 1232, and then we just sold off, gave back a lot of those gains. We've come back down towards the lower end of this channel. There is a lot of resistance around the 1230 zone for gold. Looking at the overall structure here, I wouldn't be surprised to see a little bit of a retracement today, because we've come back down to the lower end of the channel. On a number of occasions, this has provided support, but what we may see here is a rotation higher, put in a lower swing high again, or lower high, and then continue to break down here on gold. We're still waiting. The key zones really to keep an eye on is going to be 1232. Of course, if we break above that level and close above that level, we're likely to get a lot of momentum to the upside. The other key level to look at is just going to be the weekly lows here, break through 1200 for potentially more downside. So you can see there's a lot of consolidation around this zone. The bulls and bears are going to fight it out around this zone. We've got Janet Yellen speaking later on this evening as well, which will definitely provide some volatility. Do note there won't be too much volatility next week on Monday. A lot of markets are closed, or they've got the hours of trading are much less than usual due to the bank holiday in around the world, the US especially, UK. So we're expecting less volatility on Monday here, because the markets will be closed for a certain amount during the daytime. But ultimately, today will be very interesting to see how gold closes the week, how it closes the day, and whether we get much impact from the speech from Janet Yellen later on today as well. So keeping an eye on gold, definitely. So silver, similar situation to gold here. Silver had a breakout on Monday, came up to 1779. There is a lot of resistance around this zone. We had quite a significant pullback earlier on during the week. It's just consolidating. Potentially we're going to continue to break down here. I wouldn't be surprised as we come into June here to see silver just break down and give back a lot of its gains here. The key level for it really to break above will be the weekly highs and get a close above that level. But you can see this could be a nice V-shaped reversal pattern if silver was to sell off and just come back down to the lower end of its trend channel. It's not a time of year where you would typically expect silver to put a full-on rally here as we go into June, but we'll see what the common reserve are with Janet Yellen so later this evening, see what impact that has, and I'm very interested to see how silver closes the week. But at the moment we've got key support, key resistance, and we could easily break down here on silver, so we'll continue to monitor that. If we also look at palladium, similar situation on palladium. Palladium's had quite a strong pullback. It's come up to a key level of resistance this week around 800 US dollars per ounce. From that level, it's found rejection. It's sold off. We're just consolidating at the moment towards the lower end of the trend channel. It won't take too much actually to really get a good breakdown here on palladium. It just needs to really close below its weekly lows here to build up some momentum to the downside here. So ultimately just waiting to see how this is going to develop over the US session, but definitely we've got a lot to be keeping an eye on, especially with oil this afternoon, the grains as well, and of course with gold and silver. So plenty for us to keep an eye on. And of course, on that note, if you would like to find out more about our live trading rooms, which are run during the week, let me just talk you through that. So that is the live technical analysis and what we're looking at as we go into next week here. If you would like to get live analysis during the week, live trading ideas, live support, and join the Gold and Silver Club, very simply, you can join us at www.jointhegoldandsilverclub.com, okay, and that will give you access to our live trading room sessions throughout the week, access to support, our trading ideas. Enrollment is by application only, so if you complete the enrollment form, we'll get in touch with you ASAP. This also gives you an opportunity to trade non-farm payroll with us in June on Friday the 5th, and of course one of the major announcements that you want to be prepared for and ready to trade, a big opportunity, is going to be on Wednesday the 17th of June. That is the FOMC statement. Now historically the June FOMC statement is a huge market mover. Last year gold moved 400 points in 24 hours and the year before over 600 points. So you definitely want to have that in your diary, and if you'd like to learn how to trade that, you can join us at the Gold and Silver Club to trade that live. So enrollment is very simply www.jointhegoldandsilverclub.com. For those of you that would like to take us up on that opportunity, we definitely look forward to welcoming you to the Gold and Silver Club. So what I'll do, I'll just leave those details on the screen for you, and we'll just put the link in there so you've just got it easily available to you. Okay, perfect. Right, well, I wish you all good trading for this afternoon. Have a great weekend, and for those of you that would like to join us for our live trading room sessions, we look forward to welcoming you to the Gold and Silver Club. Okay, so take care everyone. Thanks. Bye-bye.